Oh, well, here we go. He's yammering away again. Todd McFarlane says he's seen up to page 80 of the Spawn movie script, the film that will never get made. Well, look, it may get made, obviously. But this has been a long time in the works. I mean, you remember back in the 90s he was saying about this. We're now 2023, for goodness sake. And this has gone through so many iterations. This is the latest version of it. Previous to this, he wrote his own script, which I have, and it's terrible. Spawn literally becomes a bed at one point, and Spawn is like a gaseous entity as well. Essentially, we never really see Spawn. I mean, you know, you want a Spawn film where you never see Spawn? Cool, fine. I don't, personally. Yeah, one of the main appeals of Spawn is how cool he looks. You know, you probably clicked on this video because of the thumbnail artwork. So if you don't get to see that in live action, you're going to be pretty disappointed, let's be honest. So let's dive into this today. Hit subscribe if you're new here. This is a long time been in the works, like I said. September 21st, IGN posted this article. So this is the Spawn reboot. Todd McFarlane says he's seen up to page 80 of the Spawn movie script. Now, if you're following the 1 page, 1 minute rule, that's an 80-minute film at this point in time. Not exactly huge. So Todd McFarlane's long gestating movie about his famous comic book character Spawn may be on hold for now as Hollywood writers and actors. He's going to blame that. Oh my god. He's going to blame the writing strike. Of course he is. Now they say this, it wasn't too far away from being finished before the 2 strikes were called. Really? How long was this movie going to be then? 80 minutes? What? This is a Spawn reboot. You want, I'd imagine, at least a 100-minute movie. You know, hour 40 minutes? Doesn't need to be super, super long, but an hour 40, I would say. Bare minimum. Weird. Now, IGN rightfully says, amazing that they actually get some stuff right, McFarlane has spent years trying to get the project off the ground to the point that it's become, I mean, it's basically it's become a joke. You know, they're just talking about it being a quest, but this has been a joke. Massively, in fact. I mean, he really needed to relinquish control, which is essentially, I'd imagine, what Jason Blum told him that he needed to do. So the producer of the film, Jason Blum, told comicbook.com that they were aiming for a 2025 release, but the script still wasn't finished and cannot be during the ongoing WGA strike. That's over now. But Todd McFarlane spoke to IGN about another Spawn development, the never-ending Spawn development. So the character is going to be appearing in Call of Duty Season 6. Fine, I guess. I don't know why. That's so bloody lame. McFarlane did give a little update on where the movie was before the strike. So he says the latest rewrite of the screenplay by writer Scott Silver, who did Joker, and Malcolm Spellman, who did Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Matt Mixon. These aren't great writers either. I mean, Joker was a good film, but would that translate into Spawn? Probably not. Malcolm Spellman, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, would that translate into Spawn? Definitely not. But anyway, so it was up to page 80 before the strike. So like I said, 1 hour, 20 minutes. So the comics and toy legend insists his desire to get his movie made remains stronger than ever, and is hopeful that once the work stoppage ends, the script can be completed and he and Blum can then pitch it to studios. So what I'm getting from that, ladies and gents, is not even Blumhouse wants to put his name behind it as a studio. He'll produce it, but they don't want to release it. They don't want to make it. So, yeah, that's odd. Now, obviously, I understand how these companies work. You have a producing studio and you have a distributor studio. But it doesn't sound like Jason Blum is on board as a producing studio. It actually sounds more like he's on board as an individual capacity as a producer. So the writers have been thinking about it a lot. Hopefully, because they're not able to do the writing. So all they can do is think about it. So that as soon as the strike's over, they can quickly finish the script. I've seen up to page 80 of the present script, so they're near the finish line. I think they'll get it done fairly quickly, and then we'll do some rewrites, and we'll be in Hollywood. Alright then. So one of the reasons there continues to be strong buzz about Spawn Reboot is that Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner were attached to start. I don't think they are anymore. I think Jeremy Renner, in fact, has said he's not on board. And I'm pretty certain as well Jamie Foxx isn't on board either now. So I don't know. I mean, they say this. Well, Todd McFarlane does anyway. Yeah, it's just checking in as a friend. So talking to Jamie Foxx. Not trying to have any big decisions about big discussions about a movie or anything. Just checking to see how his health is. He says, Jamie says he's on the mend and it was a pretty deep hole he went into and he's climbing back out. But he's confident he's going to be ready to go. I have full faith that he's just a very strong-willed person and he's going to get back to the top of his game. I mean, yeah, I hope Jamie Foxx does, quite frankly. You know, I don't wish ill health on anyone. But look, Jeremy Renner, I'm pretty certain, because Jeremy Renner was going to be playing Stitch. Pretty certain he's gone now from this. And I'm not really sure. I mean, Jamie Foxx, fine, I guess. Sure, whatever. This film, it's just woeful. It really is. And it's embarrassing as well. Because every single time there's an update. Like, I want to be positive about films. You know, do I want to see a Spawn reboot? Yeah, I actually really do. Massively, in fact. Like, I'd love to see a Spawn reboot. But do I think that any of these press releases have any air of legitimacy behind them? 100% no. 100% no. I mean, you've seen page 80, sure, fine. It still has to be rewritten. It still has to be then pitched. You've got to get people on board. You've got to get a director as well. Because Todd McFarlane at a time was pressing to be director. And people were like, you've directed nothing. You've done a few music videos. You can't direct this movie and expect other people to fund it. Todd, you're a millionaire. Fund it yourself. And that was essentially the feedback that was coming through. He's relinquished some control of the writing now. But I don't think this is going to get off the ground. And, you know, perhaps that's quite a good thing, I guess. You know, good on Todd for having full creative control. But these persistent updates with no actual further movement ahead, nothing tangible that we can get our teeth into, only serves to annoy people and cast doubt in their minds. For example, we used to get lots and lots of updates with regards to Judge Dredd Mega City 1. And I literally stopped doing updates on it because I just can't be bothered. You know, I could reach out to Jason Kingsley, I could ask him, but there's no point because, one, I don't believe a word he says anymore, and I don't think anyone does either, because you just get these updates and it all seems like lip service. Same with Todd McFarlane and Spawn. But anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down below. Cheers guys, take care, bye bye now.